welcome back. We are here for the Between Secrets in Lavender, episode 16. All right, so we are going to commence with the brief narration of the start of A Mask, I believe, and then, possibly get into it more in detail later when it becomes appropriate. But yeah, Kathleen, if you want to go ahead and narrate.
So the post has arrived at Hargrave House, as it does, I believe, a couple of times a day in this era.
At least twice a day, yeah.
Yeah, at least twice. And probably Nora has brought it in because she has taken up that sort of helpful little task around the place. Uh, and there's a letter for Miss Evangeline Fletcher on heavy cream-colored uh stationery, addressed in very elegant script and postmarked from America. Like, sees it, scowls, takes it to her room to read. Uh and It's a letter from her mother telling her that it's time to come home and stop all this nonsense. Uh, Her father is ill. She needs to she needs to behave like the lady she is and do the right thing and come home. And there's no suggestion that the past will be forgiven, but generously overlooked is the implication, with the implication of, but it's actually going to be held over your head for all time. Ellie curses under her breath, rips the letter into pieces, drops it in the fireplace, and goes stomping out of the house for a long walk.
Thank you. Yeah. And then we will buzz over to. Actually, we're going to do the little bit of a flashback type of thing because time is a very strange piece in these days with mean times in play. And I think what has ended up happening is that we need to go back to that particular time of the day while Ellie and Felix had decided to go over to Pemberton Potts to have tea, and Mordecai and Mr. Wright had gone over to look at Harrison Leeds' corpse. And I think they found themselves in a spot of bother when Mordecai mechanically muffed it and got the six. And we heard a police whistle and somebody's calling out, "Oi, what are you doing there?" And yeah, let's find out what happened in that particular alley, right? So I think Mordecai, you're there. Um, just out of character.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be joined by Felix
Mm,
today,
mm.
and we're waiting to see if we're
Also,
going to see. Yes.
was Felix with me? Yes, Felix
No, it
was
was
with
it was
me.
it was
Was
Acheron who was with you.
Akron. Okay,
So
but he's also not here.
yeah, so
He
we're gonna
vanished.
see. Yeah, we're gonna see
Okay, which
if Acheron or
appropriate.
Isaac will join us later today.
Yeah,
later
still
this month.
appropriate for
Yes.
Akron or Isaac to just vamoose
Yeah.
and leave Mordecai standing there
Yeah. Makes sense actually.
talking to his favorite people.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see like at the mouth of the alley, you're going to see
Mm,
like what looks like a constable, like a silhouette of
mm,
a constable
mm,
with a kosh ready, and
mm,
like he's pointing the kosh at you, Mordecai, and
mm,
saying, "Oi, what are you doing there?" And then he starts striding up,
There's a
And
dead body here, Constable. I was investigating.
how do I know you weren't the one that done did it?
If I was, you would be in danger, would you not? But happily you are not currently.
And then in like at the mouth of the alley is another silhouette. This one might be slightly more familiar, but the voice definitely is. What seems to be the problem here? And it's a voice that you've heard before, and it's whom you know is Constable Short. When he comes into view
Oh,
in the
yeah.
light of the alley, you see it's Constable Short, but he's not dressed in the usual constable uniform. He's dressed in like, I guess you would call it a higher level tweed. I don't know. And yeah, like he's looks like he's gotten a promotion of some sort, and he looks a lot more put together than he had when he was just a constable. And Mr. Laurence, what seems to
Mr.
be the
Short.
yes, yes, uh, and then he kind of like just looks ah.
I was about to investigate this when this gentleman aimed to interrupt my efforts.
Constable.
Pointing.
Yes. And he kind of like, kind of frowns and then like looks at the constable. It's like, I know we were to look for clues, but that was for the other body. And he turns to you, Mordecai, and then says, Pardons, Mr. Laurence. It seems that there has been a run of corpses in this particular neighborhood lately.
That's not usual in London, though.
It is, but in such a small area and then such a tight amount of time, no.
When you say run of corpses, how many are we talking about then?
And then he kind of like indicates with a jerk of his head. Not this alley, but on the other side of the inn is another uh, body that was found this morning when they were taking out the bins.
We are talking about 2 corpses now.
Correct.
Hardly a run, I would say. I was expecting 10 by the way you were acting. However, I will look at this corpse, then I will look at the other corpse and try to find similarities.
Is there a particular reason that you are looking at this corpse this
Yes,
morning?
there is.
Similarity of, and he kind of like looks down at the body. Similarity of the streaks I see.
What kind of streaks does he mean? Is this something visible?
The blue streaks from the eyes.
Oh, right. Huh. Yes, that is interesting then. That might be related. Thank you for alerting me.
If you would be so amenable, perhaps it would be beneficial to join forces in our investigation.
Constable Short. I assume you are not constable anymore, but whatever.
Inspector.
Inspector. Well, I would congratulate you if I cared. But my way of investigating is a very different role than the one you are pursuing. I do not think you would appreciate joining forces with me the last time you encountered something of my world. It didn't go too well for you, did it?
And he kind of like, Slade like will like wring his hands a little bit. As you can see, like they still show like the signs of age that he experienced. And he kind of like, will tuck a tuft of his salt and pepper hair behind his ear. Indeed, which is why I hesitantly offer, but I am now part of a division that does look into these things in a deeper fashion than the usual.
And what qualifies you for such work?
involved me in the first place. Getting messed up with you lot. And then he kind of will indicate to the constable, Constable, go to the other body and gather the remnants of the evidence. We'll take the body back to Scotland Yard.
Huh. So you think you can do it as well as I do?
Perhaps not as well, but in a different fashion.
Well, and that will be, I mean, go ahead, be my guest. Do you want this one too, or can I continue my work here? Inspector.
Don't think I haven't forgotten that I have you to thank. And I appreciate it. Otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Indeed.
I'll give you a few minutes. We have to take some time in loading the other body into the cart.
Well, have fun with that. If you find anything strange and get cursed again, you might come by.
He kind of stops without looking back at you, and then he'll continue onward to leave the alley. But now you know there's another body.
Yes, that is nice. Yeah, so
and then like your condition is marked by Inspector Short.
Okay. Can I still do an investigation around the body?
Yes, you can do an information. Well, I mean, like, are you going to try to do the thing again, or?
I think not, because that did not go too well, and I assume that is something to do with the corpse or the condition or the circumstances that led to it being a corpse. So no, that would be reckless. So what I will do is I will do a physical examination.
Okay.
Of the corpse.
Yeah,
and where's the blue? He cried blue tears, right?
Cried blue tears, and I believe that she had described his corpse as having blue hands as well.
Okay.
Yeah, like as if he dipped his hands up to the forearm, like in something blue. It was weird. Yeah. Weird. So.
Well, okay. In which case, I will take samples of the tears and whatever is under his fingernails, or, I mean, he don't feel it if I take a fingernail, right? I assume it's blue too.
He's dead, yeah. So I mean, like you can take some samples and such.
Yes.
But yeah, go ahead and roll for information just to make sure that you can get something useful for the thing.
Okay. And I don't know if arcane bruising or marked by Inspector Short will affect me in this, right?
Arcane bruising might actually affect you slightly, just because it's like, you're still under the effects of like getting beaten around. Yeah.
Where did I get that?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
Because I think that was actually from the mist roll.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, yeah. I don't actually remember because I didn't rewatch that episode.
Neither do I.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and
roll with disadvantage in that case, right?
Correct. Unless you want to use something from your personal quarters to mitigate that.
I might use my hunting journal. I mean, do I want to do that though? I don't.
That's up to you.
Yeah, I know. Oh, come on, why not?
Did you do?
No, I did two. I'd used too many dice. I'm sorry. I will roll two because I messed up the dice.
Okay. So 3d6 well, actually, like, are you using the hunting journal or
I'm using the hunting journal.
Okay, so then basically you're rolling straight. So 2d6 plus whatever your
plus 2. Yeah. That's my reason. So it's a 9.
Okay. 9 reason. Okay, great. So let's see. This is Order of Azure Eyes. Give me a second. Let's see what you got so far.
Not much.
I mean, like, I don't think you guys have answered the first question yet either. So, I mean, like, you only have a 2 complexity on that.
Yeah.
You're looking and you're taking the physical evidence from the corpse. Are
Yeah.
you looking for anything in particular?
I might look for something because he reached into something. I might look for something otherworldly, something
Mm,
connected with something that is not of this plane,
sure.
basically.
Okay, great.
Although I might have rolled with sensitivity for that, but that doesn't matter because it's also two. So
Okay. No, that's fine. It sounds to me like more that you were using reason because you were like,
yeah,
taking physical
yeah,
evidence
yeah. Okay, fair
for
enough.
sure.
Okay.
I think as you're taking this physical evidence, I think you are able to feel. Hold on. Try to copy paste this thing. I think you're able to feel that Harrison Leeds, who's the victim,
Mm-hmm.
has like some kind of like hidden pocket or something like that in his clothes, and
Hmm.
like you feel like a crinkling or whatever,
Okay.
in his waistcoat or what have you, and you find a photograph,
Oh,
like a sepia photograph showing a younger Dr. Clauser, or what you can
okay.
assume is
Mm-hmm.
a younger Dr. Clauser, next to a beautiful woman.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, and I have not seen this beautiful woman before, I assume. So
No, I mean,
yeah.
like,
Okay.
like you may have, you may will.
You may well.
You,
Okay.
I can totally use English language. It's okay.
Yes,
Yes, yes, yes.
yes,
Yeah,
I understood that though.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I will use that now confidently hearing a native speaker say it.
Yes. So it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank
So
you. Okay.
there's the possibility of
Okay.
figuring out who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you may have seen, like, some what is it, posters, or some bills,
Mm-hmm.
showing like, kind of like the etched
Mm-hmm.
printing of like what Dr. Clauser looks like
Mm-hmm.
now. It's like,
Yeah.
showing off his lectures and such. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I mean, you can only assume that this is of him younger
Yeah.
with a beautiful woman.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so that is what you have, and then, like, you're looking around and you don't see you don't see Acheron anywhere. Like, he was with you when you came into the alley, but, like, he's scarpered, and basically, like, he's no longer there. It's like, what the hell? Um,
He indicated that he did not like the police. So I
yeah,
assume that there was a reason for him
yeah, and
running
so
off.
basically, you can just easily assume that that was not going to happen. But I
Mm-hmm.
think you do spot, as you are getting up from examining the body, I think you do spot a familiar figure crossing the line of sight in front of the alley,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like that little diminutive scientist, Doctor Scientist, that you'd seen before, way back in Miswell,
The
Doctor Charles.
Charles, Dr. Charles. Interesting.
Yeah, he's hurrying past. He seems to
Yeah.
have something like clutched in a parcel, like underneath his arm, but you recognize him because you can't really miss that squirrely guy anywhere, even in profile. So anyway, like,
Oh.
you're like, down in, like, deep in the alley, you see him squirreling past, and then, like, yeah, you
Then
see
I
him.
follow him, of course.
Gotcha. Okay. So, as you
It's daytime, right?
oh, yeah, 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 it's still daytime.
Okay.
Like, for you, it's daytime. Like I said, we're doing
Yeah,
a little
yeah, yeah.
time fuckery to
Okay,
make
okay,
sure that
okay.
we can
Thank you.
see where
Okay,
you
okay.
guys were, right? So then, yeah, I mean, like, as you're peeking out of the alley to see where he's going, he's still kind of looking around a little bit, just to kind of see, well, one, that he doesn't get run over by the horse carriages that are hurrying past, and then you see that the grand carriage of Mrs. Pemberton Potts is going by, and he will actually hail her carriage, and she stops, and you see that her little figure is atop the boot where Maglasang usually drives the
Mm-hmm.
carriage, and she's actually there, and then she's looking down at him and kind of like talking with him a little bit, and then she's looking like she's giving him something, and then she kind of like drives on, and then
Mm-hmm.
he ducks, like, further down the block, and then, like, all of a sudden you see like a whole slew of people start to get in front of you, and like the street gets busier, and then he ducks down a side street, and then you lose him.
Ah, fine, then I will get out of the sun. But it's interesting because we didn't know that Miss Pemberton Potts had picked him up, right?
No, she did not. She just merely
Okay.
talked to him.
No,
But
but that they knew each other. We didn't know that.
In character, we did not know.
No,
no,
in character,
in
exactly.
character, no, you did not know.
As players, we knew, but
Mhm.
nice. Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. Fine, I'll go home then and do some stuff with this blue color thingy.
Unfortunately, we can't see what happened to Acheron, which I was hoping to be able to do today. But yeah, um, we're going to head back to Dusk Phase, where you decide whether you want to answer a question or not. Is there anything you'd like to try?
Can we
Try
do
for?
Can we do vulnerable
You
moves?
can, but I mean, I'm just
Okay.
going through the play
Yeah.
structure
Okay.
right now,
Okay.
just to
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. Yeah,
check
okay.
through.
Okay. 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 But I think we should definitely do vulnerable moves,
Oh yeah,
Ellie.
we're gonna do the
Okay.
vulnerable moves in the transition between dusk and night phase. Anybody have anything that they'd like to do with regards to questions? Because you have several questions on the board, or two, I should say, two questions on the board that could definitely be answered with complexity 2, if you want to dare do so. You've got, let's see, five clues on the board for Spider Silk Seamstress, which conceivably, if you really want to go the easy but dangerous route, you could do the complexity 4 question for Spider Silk. But I mean, I know that some people are jonesing for the big long game complexity 8 question for that one. So that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So
We could do the Azure,
A-
right?
Azure
Thing.
Eyes, okay.
Azure Eyes, yes.
Is
I
the
mean,
order
we
of
have.
Azure Eyes real? Which
I mean,
unlocks the next appropriate question.
I mean, do we want to do that?
The alternative would be if we feel like we have enough to do the which James Allardyce question for mean times,
Mm.
uh,
Okay.
which would get us a move.
Oh,
Um, but I don't know that we really feel like we have enough there. Uh,
It would be either the young James Allardyce, the young the adult, or the
or the
elderly.
elderly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mm.
like which one is the actual one that belongs here in this time,
Mm.
and how has he fallen victim to the anomaly?
I also feel we don't have enough about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the Azure Eyes, we could answer maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think whether it's real is
Yeah.
a good
Mm.
question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
With the two clues we have now to explain that.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, is it
Oh.
real or not?
Mm.
I'm leaning toward it being some kind of scam
Okay.
because with the information that we have,
Okay.
because he used to do stage
Mm.
hypnotism,
Sure.
Mm.
and the photograph could be with his assistant because you gotta have eye candy for
Mm.
the
Oh, I
if you're
like that
Oh
making a
yeah.
idea. Yeah, yeah,
performance.
yeah. Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well,
Okay.
basically you're rolling with 0, so I mean, like,
Mm.
2d6 plus
Yeah.
nothing. Nothing.
Mm. Nothing. Are you doing it?
Um,
I
I
I
I
already
can, or we
rolled
can each
something.
roll one die,
Oh yeah, we
or
can do that.
Okay,
Let's
so
do that.
yeah,
Okay.
so each roll
yeah.
one die, please, and then we'll see what we
Okay.
get.
I've rolled a 6, so
Nice.
yeah.
10.
Wow.
So
Okay.
4 and a
Boom.
6.
Boom.
Yep.
This is definitely not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So 4 and a 6 makes a 10. You are
Mm.
absolutely right. This is definitely a scam.
Mm.
Hold on. Let me see.
It was merely blue color that came from the corpse's eyes.
All right. So let me
Yeah.
give you the next
I
appropriate question. Give me a
was
second.
an extraction.
So not
Yes.
so the order is not
Mm.
real. If the order is not real, what is Dr. Clauser up to? That is a complexity 4.
Mm.
Okay, and
Okay.
then that's the opportunity is you resolve the threat by confronting Dr. Clauser and satisfying yourself that he means no harm to London, or failing that by putting a stop to his plans.
Hmm.
So That's your opportunity. Okay. So if the order isn't real, what is Dr. Clauser up to? Confront him and either make sure he's no threat or putting a stop to his plans.
Make sure he's no threat or make sure he's no threat.
Exactly. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So, given that,
I already did my dusk roll.
You did, and you had to up
I'm
that. And that's
drained.
why you did the mask. Oh man. Okay, so, dusk phase. Okay, attempted to answer a question. You resolve the playbook move. Great. Now you decide whether you want to do a London night phase or a Hargrave House night phase. So London night phase, again, reminded, is the regular night phase where you have an unseen, you bounce back and forth between doing shit and then, going to an unseen to get an echo of the night. Hargrave House night phase is where I pick one of the rooms at Hargrave House with the newfangled, fancy room thing. And then you take turns in doing the room prompts. And at the end of it, then you will either get a move or you get like an item implied from the particular room or rooms that you're in from the house, right? So, brain. Yeah. So you can decide to do that. And we will, I know it doesn't say so in the play structure, but I'm doing it my way, whatever. I'm going to allow a transition from dusk into night with a vulnerable move.
Okay.
Really hoping Mr. Wright was going to be here so I could allow him to get a freaking, vulnerable move in. But it is what it is. Yeah, I know you both need them, so it's fine.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
So, right. Which one do you want to do? Do you want to do a London or do you want to do a Hargrave? Because once we finish the Hargrave House, either way, you go right to dawn phase again. But you will not get the opportunity to get an echo of the night. I don't think. No, because there's no unseen.
Yeah, there's no echoes in.
No echoes in the Hargrave House night phase.
I think for the first time we do the Hargrave House thingy, I think it should be more people than just the two of us, maybe.
Sure. Okay.
I kind of agree. Yeah.
Okay. And
because I do want to do it, but I think maybe Felix or Chris would like to do it as well. So
yeah. The only reason I I offer it as well, besides being part of the play structure, is that it makes things less dangerous for the hunters. So then you run less risk of running into shit that makes it dangerous. But it is what it is, right? So
got an alley, so it's kind of fine.
Okay, that's fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. All right, great. So
the dice can't be that mean to me 2 sessions in a row, right?
Of course.
I love that face. I love that face. Oh my gosh. All right, dusk, and then vulnerable. Okay. All right. So we're going to do the London night phase as usual. So, given that, what would you like to do for night phase?
Yeah, that's a good
and
question.
then I'll pick an unseen while you're figuring it out. Let's see.
Right.
So go ahead and figure it out between yourselves or individually, and I will pick out an unseen.
So the whole thing that I was supposed to lecture, that's in the day phase, right?
It could be, or whatever. I mean, he just mentioned it to her, like he was going to, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, you're not aware of it yet.
Cool.
You haven't met up with Felix for him to tell you.
I'm thinking I want to prowl around the Royal Observatory.
That's the Greenwich thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I might try to get access to the clubhouse for the bright and beautiful. I'm not particularly beautiful, but I am very bright.
Okay, so this is the for the order.
Azure Eyes.
You have not yet met Eugene, who is the host for the thing. I don't think, I'm trying to remember whether Felix did yet either, but sorry, because the other group is doing was doing the Order of Azure Rise almost in tandem with you guys, so it's
Oh, okay.
like I'm getting confused between the two groups. So pardon me.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have not met Eugene yet, then this is a great opportunity to do so. And no one, as far as I know, has met Margaret, who was the one who sent you guys the letter in the first place. Just
What
saying.
letter?
A letter about the Dr. Fisher, I believe, dying or offing himself.
Oh, okay, that's the other
The
one.
meantimes.
Yeah.
Or no.
Okay, that's the
Yeah,
meantime.
meantimes.
Yes.
Would have to be.
Millicent is the one who sent
Millicent,
the
yeah,
letter.
sorry.
Mm.
Millicent. Yeah. So no one has met Millicent yet because Mr. Wright had done investigations kind of like off the cuff and talked with Allardyce instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. The great thing about investigating at the Royal Observatory at night is it's astronomers. They're working at night.
Yeah, exactly.
I can actually talk to them at night.
Exactly. All right. So we're
I
going to
feel
do.
confident that clubs meet at night as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So we're going to do a drink at the Four Magpies. This is one of my faves.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. The Four Magpies is a pub popular with working class gay men, run by the butch landlady Polly O'Donnell. While it seems like any other cramped, rowdy, spit and sawdust pub, it is an oasis of relative safety in a dangerous city. Polly does what she can to protect her boys. There are a few small rooms available upstairs, and some of the lads make a bit of extra coin entertaining wealthier guests. And this is on 41I. If you were trying to follow along, I apologize.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. There we are.
Yep. Okay.
I see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So paint the scene is going to be everyone, of course. Let's do. I'll do the second prompt to start you guys off. All right, and then third prompt will be Sabine, and fourth prompt will be Kathleen. I'll leave it.
I feel like go ahead and do the vulnerable move.
Yeah.
If that's
Okay,
okay
great.
with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that's stuff to drink. So.
Yep.
Yeah,
Vulnerable move first, and then we'll take a break. Cool. Where do you want to hold this vulnerable move?
well, given that I
pick a
have
vice. Somebody's
Yes.
vice got to be in play, and whomever's vice is in play, be reminded that that person can talk about their past freely.
Okay. Yes.
I think it should probably be yours, just
Okay.
in terms of
Yes.
fictional positioning, because
Yep.
Ellie's been hitting the pipe a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. So I think we might meet while you're back on your way to Hargrave House while Mordecai is yeah, I think what Mordecai is currently doing. No. Let me think. I had an idea for how I was going to Pettigrew was his name, right? My prey guy. Well, I think you meet me coming out rather surreptitiously from a very good, nice house, which is whatever. He's not detective inspector, right? Or
Yeah.
something.
Detective
Pettigrew's
inspector.
house.
Yeah.
Yes. And looking pleased with as a cat that had just gotten into the cream that it shouldn't get into.
You're in a good mood.
I am, yes. I did. This is Detective Inspector Pettigrew's house.
Oh.
I put some things in there that will haunt him. Just a little haunting. I hope he will come to us for help.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we all got our hobbies, I guess.
Well, yes. This is well, since I could not follow up with my original target, I had to improvise. This
I
might
appreciate that.
This might actually be a better target because he's higher up in the structure. Did you know that Scotland Yard now has a department that is looking into supernatural things? I met up with Constable Short, or he's Inspector Short now.
Yeah.
And he was offering to collaborate.
Yeah, I do believe that is Felix's doing.
Oh, is it? Yes. Anyhow,
Why he thought this was a good idea, you'd have to ask Felix, but
probably spur of the moment, trying to mess with people. It's Felix, after all. I
I
hope it
refrain
wasn't.
from pointing out that messing with people is your MO as well. I'm not saying that. I'm just thinking it real loud.
Yes, I think Mordecai will pick up on that and say, well, this is this different? Probably not. I'm not using my charm though.
Yeah, very different. Very different style of.
Yes, I appreciate you noticing that.
Yes,
Anyway,
the cerebral rather than the charismatic.
indeed, indeed.
What are your plans this evening?
Oh, I was looking at this corpse. I have taken some samples, but I am quite convinced that it is mostly ink
Hmm.
that stained this man's body. There's something. This Klauser guy wants something, and I would like to figure out what
Yeah, yeah.
and why he thinks that pretending to be in a mystic cult would be a good idea. What I know about mystic cults, they're not usually pleasant people. Speaking
Maybe
as
he's
someone
just
who,
thinking it's an easy way to get money out of the gullible.
that is, yes, that is quite a fallacy, I think, but you never know.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, Raphael got a lot of money from his hunting business practice.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, taking out. He was taking out some threats and getting paid for it, or he was taking out some wealthy threats and just stole it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm. But he wasn't in it for the wealth, of course.
No, no. He seems
Mm.
to have been much more ideologically driven than that.
Yes, yeah, he was. I'd say his heart was in the right place, but it really wasn't. What are your plans, Ellie?
I want to figure out what's going on with the Greenwich thing. This time nonsense is getting out of hand. I have
Ah,
been Felix and I have both been witnessing things that I think are out of time.
hmm.
He saw the Great Fire happening.
Mm.
I saw something that might be the future. I don't know. The docks crumbling away and great towers of glass growing. I don't I don't know what that was
Interesting.
about, but it was unnerving.
Hmm.
And if we can sort this out, I think that might I hope it puts a stop to those phenomena.
With Felix, I would have said maybe it was a memory, honestly.
I
But
mean, for all I know, but s- he passed it off relatively lightly, but I think it shook him a little, uh, whatever he saw. So,
yes, and the towers of glass, that is not as easily explained because I don't think that was a memory of yours.
oh, never seen
Wow.
anything like it, never heard of anything like it.
Hmm. Well,
Pardon me.
I this whole police thing that bothers me. You know, I don't want to fall over police every time we investigate something. And while Inspector Short has good reason to be positively inclined towards me, I don't think this will always be the case.
I just don't think they're up for it. I mean,
They are not.
they may want to investigate these things, but they don't have the knowledge and they don't have the skills.
No.
They're just going to get underfoot and get more people killed.
Yeah, absolutely. I asked Short what made him, what qualified him for this position. He said he was cursed, so he had experience. That is a very bad reason. Nearly dying of the arcane does not make you a specialist.
Can make you real motivated, though.
Well, yes,
if
but
he actually puts the work in to learn, then that's one
please.
thing. If he just thinks he already has the knowledge.
I don't think he was all that confident, but I hope he does not try to learn anything. I do not want to contend with a police force with magical abilities.
Yeah. Yeah, that could get messy.
Indeed. Maybe we should have a word with Felix about this whole endeavor.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Because I don't want to go out there and to try to put a stop to it. Well, we'll see. We will meet back at Hargrave House also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take care of yourself. Oh, and if you see Akron or if you see Mr. Wright, he was with me, but he got vamoosed.
Yeah.
But I think he might have stuck around to just keep an eye on the situation. And when he did not need anyone's interference, I will hold the fact that he helped with the coven to his advantage or not.
Conditions?
Yeah. I don't know if it's possible for me to clear out of time because that is if it is possible to, I would like to clear that one.
Yeah, I mean, you were addressing it like, so you're more aware of it. I'm gonna say like, fictionally, like perhaps it's like, you could be now more aware of it and more sensitive to it, so you would not necessarily fall into its trap as easily. So
Yeah.
I mean, and mechanically, it's like, you kind of have to move from deja vu first into out of time. So, like I'll be slapping you with a deja vu first before you go back into out of time again. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. No. And Ellie was not about to discuss what else out of time has done to her. No, no. Just keep it to the nicely impersonal.
For now. Oh boy.
For now.
Yeah. So
But yeah, that's
I
the
have a
condition
curious
that shit's been.
question that I'd like you to think about. Are you going to tell Lansing what you received in the post? You don't have to tell me now. You
Yeah.
can just think about it, okay? So
Probably not because Ellie has done a terrible, terrible job of telling him things that he really needs to know. So
Conde phase, there's gonna be some reckoning. That'll be great.
she still hasn't told him that, by the way, you're staying under the Mastermind's roof. She
keeps
there's
getting
a lot she hasn't told.
She keeps getting distracted. I mean, geez, goodness gracious. Stop it. Anyway, Mordecai, which condition do you want to release?
I think I will mark by Inspector Short.
Sure.
I've vocalized that I'm not bothered. Have been a lot more intelligent to clear arcane bruising, but I like it.
Okay. No, that's fine. I mean, if you want to say that kind of goes away after the while, or even like if you want to day move it, by doing like catching a vulnerable move with an NPC at some point, we can
Yeah,
totally do that. Just so you know, that is a possibility still.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right, so
yeah. But we're not in day phase anymore, and I
we're
think I
not.
had one
Yeah.
of them move right now. And
Yes, exactly.
Ellie is worse in conditions than I am. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ellie, you can totally wipe out of time. All right.
Yep.
And then we will go into the night phase once we get back from break. So you guys do 10 minutes and then we'll be back and then we will start night phase in earnest. Okay? See you then.
Okay.
Alrighty. So we are beginning with the unseen. Paint the scene. Describe a moment we see of men sharing a moment of intimacy that would be unwise to do so elsewhere.
I think there are two men sitting very close to each other at a table, and in front of them is a plate filled with little snack thingies like olives and like apple pieces and whatever, like a lot of food things. So, right, and then one of them takes a piece of fruit and feeds it to the other, and then the other takes a piece of fruit and feeds it to the first one, and thus they will sort of decimate. They take their time. They don't have to hurry. Um, they will just feed each other these little fruits and fruit slices, and at the end they will share an olive. One bites it off and gives the half, the other half he has bitten off to the other, and the other will do that.
A very different kind of intimacy. Um, Man comes in clearly having some sort of terrible day, some sort of emotional crisis. He's all but in tears as he comes in. And in any other pub, his friends friends of a man like this would politely ignore the distress. They might, rough slap on the shoulder at most, maybe buy him a beer, but not in any way address this this distress that he's in. But here his friends immediately close in around him. What happened? Sit down, you know, a hug, a pat on the hand, and he can feel heard and safe in being heard here, whatever the source of that distress.
I think I'm going to add to this by there's a pan to a darker corner of the four magpies, and I think two gentlemen are together, sitting together, and one looks like he's more working class. Maybe he's got kind of like a rough suit about him, and then the other is more in a dandy's kind of clothes, a dilettante of sorts, like finer materials. But the one who is from the rougher side looks like he is, as the fellow in the group is being comforted. I think this one is specifically talking with his companion in low murmurs and putting a hand on his companion's hand and like putting an arm around his shoulder and then slowly like kind of drawing him down to put his dandy's companion's head on his shoulder to kind of let him have um, like a moment of solace and giving him gentle kisses on the forehead and like if we kind of close in, we can hear him say, There. It's fine. Your father was a piece of shit, but here, you can grieve for the man that you thought he was, and for the man that he truly was. So, Ellie, we're going to go with the Royal Observatory first.
Okay.
Are you going to just go to the outside of it, or are you going to try and talk with Millicent Bryan directly?
I think I better talk to Millicent.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten her perspective beyond the initial contact.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. And as you say, I mean, like, when you come into the Royal Observatory's field, let's see. I don't remember if we had done any paint the scenes on it for sure.
I don't think we have.
All right, then let's do a paint the scene. Set atop a hill in the middle of Greenwich Park, the observatory has powerful telescopes for stargazing. It is the location of 0-degree longitude, and research done here is vital to navigating the open seas. Paint the scene. What here shows that the scientists of the observatory are at the cutting edge of Victorian science, and what vestiges of an earlier age still persist. Let me go ahead and post that into the chat. Cutting edge as well as the vestiges of an earlier age.
My cutting size is not so good, so I'll go with the vestiges. And what we see here is little plaques with names and dates from people who were working here earlier. And there's lots of Lord, Sir, but there are also names without a title. So you can see that this is maybe a place where competence is rather important or more important than peerage.
The cutting edge of the science is shown in the telescopes themselves, of course, but also in the meticulously methodical record keeping. The logbooks and so on are not only very detailed, but very, very regularized. There is a format, there is a way that one does things, that one records one's observations, one fills these in at certain times, etc., etc. Uh, and the uh, the vestiges of the past, uh, there are still traces here of the days when astronomy and astrology were more tightly intertwined. Uh, in that there are astrological symbols and their mythological connections depicted in artwork that is part of the very building itself. Uh, so there will be, say, uh, a bull that is clearly Taurus carved over a door frame, that kind of thing.
And I think to add to this, I think the vestiges are the fact that the buildings themselves are falling into somewhat of a state, um, you know, certain signs of either disrepair or neglect in order to uh, fund and field the newer advances, the innovations that are allowing this the technology to be able to see further and farther into space. Like we see more wiring, we see more gears and dials, we see more of consoles that are trying to make these powerful telescopes work. And so, along with the logbooks and all of the careful, regimented, formatted detail and data, I mean, there has to be some very very tight monitoring of this sort of thing, and that's where the technology needed to be boosted in uh, you know in replacement of like taking care of the place. So yeah, maybe that marble is cracked in certain places. Maybe the gilding of certain paint jobs is not as shiny as it used to be. Yeah. So this is where you find yourself, and you're directed to Millicent's office, which her office is on a separate floor from uh, where Dr. Fisher's is, and you find that out because she comes out and greets you. Hargrave House, yes?
That's right.
Appreciate you looking into this. There's been some very strange phenomena around Dr. Fisher's office itself.
Hmm.
Something he was studying is maybe causing these effects. I I don't know if you'd seen this yourself, but as I had said in my missive, um, we had found the two other James Allardyces that existed, and that was strange enough as it was. But around Dr. Fisher's office itself, there was some breaks in people's memory and uh, just some anomalies that could not be explained. And
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to look at that office if I may. Because
absolutely,
we're aware of some strange things happening
I've been rather
that may be
fearful.
connected.
Yes, I've
Sure.
been rather fearful of looking into it myself because I think what has been said is that the closer you get to the office, the stronger the effects are. And I experienced a bit of that myself, and I would not want to experience it again, if you don't mind.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, no. Uh yeah. Let Hargrave House deal with it. That's what we're here for.
And
I'll
also
take a
for
look and I might have a question or two for you afterwards.
other reasons as well. It is, as I said in my letter, where Dr. Fisher had. Yes, and she doesn't continue, obviously.
I do not say, yeah, I saw that. Since
Yeah, in your vision, yeah.
in my vision I did see him.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And yeah,
I'm not
so
mentioning that.
she will give you directions to his office through through the staircases, and she will like say like where it is, and you'll see the name on the door.
Hmm.
So I think as you get closer to the office, like when you actually get up onto the floor of it, you will feel like as you're going down this hallway feels very familiar to you. And for several different reasons. Because one, it's like, you get a flash of the pine trees. Sorry. And then you start to like, get this feeling of I've been down this hallway before. So, night move, please. Sorry. What do you think will
Yeah.
happen if you fail or lose your nerve as you're getting these washing this wave of like you're fighting against something, and you can take it with advantage since you've like kind of fought against this feeling before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. What am I rolling with? Is this going to be
Sensitivity. This is
sensitivity? Okay,
total
that's what I
sensitivity.
figured.
And actually, like because you're drained, I'm gonna say like it's a wash. So just two
Okay.
d six with sensitivity.
Okay. Fair enough. And I think what I'm afraid will happen is that I will lose track of where and when I am.
Hmm.
and be unable to learn anything useful as I'm tossed uh into my own past again.
Yeah. So I think the way it's worse is that you're going to be into a continual loop of like, being downstairs, you're approaching Royal Observatory, and then you're talking to Millicent, and you're gonna have this continual feeling of having this Groundhog's Day feeling of having this conversation before, which you have, right? So that's how that this is how it's worse because you're so freaking close to Dr. Fisher's office. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay. I thought about using a personal quarters item, but I think I'm just gonna roll it
Okay.
and see what happens.
2d6 plus sensitivity.
I should have used a personal quarters item. That's a 5. Um,
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. I gotta take a picture. Wowza! Okay. I'm sorry to take such delight, but
no,
goddamn.
no, I think it's
I mean,
hilarious. The
what the
dice
hell?
really hate me.
Well, no, I mean, because as I've said to everyone that has been in a game with me that I've said this, it's like you gotta take big swings. So, anyway, I think
Uh,
you're basically like, as you're trying to fight against this, it's like you find yourself transported back to like looking up at the observatory telescopes, and you're looking at the like, what, like, how you felt like, when you were looking up at the stars, and then like you suddenly find yourself transported to talking with Millicent again, and then getting this feeling of like you've had this conversation before, and then transported back to the beginning of like looking up at the observatory, and then when you transported back to the Millicent conversation, you start repeating what she said even before she says it.
I think I'm gonna take a Mask of the Past here.
Okay.
Um, because that is just egregiously frustrating.
Egregious,
Uh,
egregious deja vuing all over the place. Sorry.
yes. No. That's entirely reasonable. This is how this
Yeah. I mean, like, I would have had you, like, try to do another night move to get out of it, but who knows how that would have turned out. So,
yeah, no, I think
yippee
I'll
skippy.
just take another Mask of the Past.
Got it, got it, got it. Okay. So, Mask of the Past. Um, you can narrate that at some point, or you can wait till next session, to the beginning of next session, to do it. Seven to
I
nine.
have an idea of what it's gonna be, but I can do that into the session.
Yes. So, tell me how you succeed in fighting against this, and I will either give you a condition or a complication,
Let's see.
depending on how you break out of it.
I think as I realize, wait, no, I have seen this before. I have done this before. I feel it's starting to close in on me. Um, I think I am refocusing my mind, uh, with a little bit of pain. I'm driving my nails into my palms to sort of ground myself,
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
give myself a an anchor into here and now.
And may I make a suggestion that when you
Hmm.
do your Mask of the Past, it involves something having to do with this sort of pain. So it kind of ties in back to this moment. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, good call.
Yeah. So, as you're doing that, I think, you start hearing, breaking into this washing feeling of like, of doing this again and again and again. You hear like a distant echoey sound of like somebody crying out from the Dr. Fisher office vicinity. It's still happening. I couldn't I couldn't stop it. I have to go back again. And then, like, panting, and then, like, we're kind of cut over to Mordecai. Mordecai, you're heading over to the clubhouse of the Bright and the Beautiful, which
Indeed.
is held in a house.
I
Um,
was wondering if I
yeah.
could enlist the lady who invited us to investigate this
Oh yes,
to introduce
Annabelle.
me,
Oh yeah.
Annabelle, to introduce me, because just rolling up into a club, I can do that, obviously, but I'm not Felix, and I would have to bully my way, and I think that might
Yes.
might not be very extremely helpful. So I would like to ask Annabelle if she could introduce me and then go
Yeah,
with her.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, she left her card where to
Mm,
find her. I mean, her
yes.
quarters are away from the clubhouse, but not too far
Mm,
off.
yes. Well,
And if you so choose, like, you can either walk or you can take a cab. Um, but yeah, with Anne Marie Fitzgerald, I think that's her name. Hold on, Annabelle, Anna Marie, I forget.
Annabelle.
Annabelle, thank you. With Annabelle, she'll remind you that absolutely, I can introduce you to Eugene Paulson. He's the host of our clubhouse. Well, it is in his home, in his salon, and he's been quite gracious. But uh, do not be surprised if he's very what's the word? Dramatic.
Yes, I know the type.
And then she kind of like just kind of recalls. Oh yes, your companion was seems quite similarly dressed, I believe. He will be quite familiar to you.
Well then, thank you for introducing me. You do not have to stick around. I recall that you were not comfortable with the whole situation.
Not after what I heard with Dr. Clauser and someone. I don't know what this has to do, what the Order of Azure Eyes has to do with anything. It doesn't feel like it is something beneficial, especially with Harrison.
Um, to reassure you, we believe that the Order of Azure Eyes is merely a scam. This is not very helpful for those ensnared in Dr. Clauser's coils.
But
Yet,
why? But why did they have? Why did Harrison have to die?
that is what I currently am trying to find out.
And she just nods, and she will show you to Paulson's house, and then she will, at least be there to make the introductions.
Mm.
Um, and then you see, she rings the bell, and you see a very flamboyantly dressed figure. I mean, he's got like robes of different colors, like atop his silk shirts and tight trousers, and he's chain smoking, like in his like he's got like literally like a cigarette in hand, but then he looks like he has another one like ready to go, in his other hand. Oh, Annabelle. Oh, it's good to see you. Who's this? Because you're towering like right behind her.
Mm.
uh I'm sorry, Eugene Paulson. And then he kind of like moves his cigaretted hand like out
Mm.
and such, and like he holds out his hand. You are.
Mordecai and Laurence. I'm here at the request of no, I'm here following some interesting things I've heard about your club and the guests that you had. Miss Fitzgerald was kind enough to inform me that you currently host to Dr. Clausen.
Yes, yes, please, I'm sorry, come in, um
Thank you.
and then Annabelle will make her apologies and like take her leave. um and then like he's so distracted, like he'll kind of flounce himself into like one of those window seats and such, in this beautifully appointed parlor, which is huge, right? Because this is where the salon is being held. Imagine like a place that has the like all of the chairs. Oh, I think, did we do this? No, we didn't. Okay. So the salon itself, you smell the lingering scent of tobacco and perfume. Definitely more of the tobacco right now because of the chain smoking. There's a grand piano slightly out of tune, because he kind of like, as he flounces over, he kind of like just kind of plays a little bit. And if you're musically inclined, it's like it's gonna sound like a little clunky. And then you see souvenirs like, kind of scattered around the room, like in the perimeter, because in the middle around the grand piano are all sorts of seats, like mismatched, like love seats and chairs and whatever, but they're very, like, well upholstered and everything. So paint the scene. This is where the affluent mingle with hapless artists and intellectuals. How do you know this? And if this has been answered before, I apologize, but I don't recall like what this had. So let me go ahead and put this into the chat. Give me a second.
It's a number of the artists and intellectuals who have uh, been admitted to these premises have contributed some of their works. So there are books and paintings and so on, uh, not not assembled as they would be with any kind of deliberate collector's eye or with an eye to design, because the members have simply hoped or assumed that their contributions are welcome and put them in the space uh, without without regard for uh, the overall schema. So it's quite a hodgepodge.
I think when there is clearly new guests, a servant will come in and put a plate with these little finger food thingies, fruit and crackers and cheese. And you can see all around there are similar plates, but most of them are quite empty. There are not crumbs on them or anything. You can see some olive pits maybe, but that's about it. Whoever was the guest of the salon was taking advantage of all this food here, as a starving artist might.
Oh, sure, sure. But I think like the touches of like the affluent here are the again, like I said, like the well appointed and upholstered seating. I mean, they're quite plush, or they're very like uh, important looking. Like you can tell, like there's the mishmash of like comfortable slash like, oh, the important people sit here, right? And then like the
Mm-hmm.
sideboard is like has like the grand tablecloth, like stuff that you probably only see in more well-to-do households, rather than like just like kind of like some tossed uh you know uh community gathering, right? And this is the surroundings that Eugene Paulson is in. I mean, this is his home where he holds the salon meetings, and he's just kind of ducking his head in his hands, alternately, while he also chain smokes and then looks at you. I don't know if Annabelle has told you. This is awful, awful. The clubhouse of the bright and beautiful is meant to be a safe haven, and now this. Who will be next? What have we done to deserve this? Ah.
It must be very distressing to have lost a community member.
It's been not only one. I had heard it's been someone else.
Mm.
Who's gonna be next? I don't know. I'm sorry. You are Mr. Laurence, and you are planning on joining, or were you thinking about uh, patronage?
Actually, Miss, whatever her last name is, Fitzgerald, right?
Yes.
Miss Fitzgerald asked me, since you have suffered such catastrophic losses, asked me to look into what is going on here. I have been dealing with things like these previously, and I would be of assistance to avoid further commotions.
You're an investigator? Are you with the police?
Oh, no, 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 no. I have a private interest in unusual cases.
Can't get any more unusual than this, I don't think.
I do not wish to upset you, but there are far more unusual things.
Great. Well,
You will not be plagued by those, I hope. But for now, I would like to see that your salons continue without such further such disturbances.
that would be wonderful. If you could just tell me how, that would be amazing.
Well, it's not like I snap my fingers and make it all go away, I'm afraid. But I think it might be have something to do with Dr. Plaza's interests in the city, or these people, or one of these people. But I'm pretty sure it's more broad, but I don't know. Can you tell me anything about this? This would be immensely helpful.
Information move, please, with
Yes.
reason.
Okay. Okay. And my arcane bruising, is that messing with
No,
me?
because if you're just doing reason,
Yeah.
like you're just kind of like
I'm
talking
just
with him,
kind of, yeah, I'm just talking with him.
and then trying to get information out of like regular
Let's
information out of
see.
him. That's
Ooh.
perfectly.
Yeah, so it's a 10.
Don't ping on the weirdness scale. Love it.
We've really seen weirder, but
You can't tell a Monday about this kind of thing, you know? It's like,
I'm
what are you
not.
gonna say? You know?
No, I mean, I've said what I mean, Mordecai is not a soothing presence, I
No,
don't
he's
think.
not. It's great. I love it. I love Mordecai so
He's
much.
trying, and in case you can tell, he's trying.
But I think it's darling. I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. So, ask what kind of question do you want to try and ask him
Uh,
specifically?
I would like to know, yeah, what I asked was, what can you tell me about Dr. Clauser?
Dr. Clauser, okay.
Yes, that was what I wanted to know, like
Okay.
his background or what he's doing, what he says that he's doing here.
Okay, great. All right, that sounds great. Well, as he like takes several puffs of his cigarette to kind of get like either get his memory back, get some courage, whatever the hell. He says he's here to give us all release from pain, and it had been working. I mean, we were all able to talk with him and speak with him, and from his lectures be able to find something of meaning and use to be able to release our regrets or help ourselves divest ourselves of pain and all this and all that sorts of things. And well, it's as you're doing an
Oh,
investigation, I feel I could tell
yes.
you that I came upon something very odd in one after one of his last lectures. You promise you won't say anything.
I will be very, whatever you tell me, I will keep in the strictest confidence.
So, he's a doctor, he's a physician, and I imagine he would take notes and such, and perhaps it was rather nosy of me, but I am the head of this clubhouse, and I felt that it was my responsibility to know or to feel as if I could see. I he had a folder. He had a folder with seeming notes about each of us, and I was only able to look at the first few. with members' names on them.
Mm.
And they were describing how little or how much progress each of us had made. And then he takes a really long drag of this one. Like, it literally, like, you can see, like, the cigarette, like, go down to the nub, like, down and, like, burn his hand. And something really odd, where it said, "And who might be ready to convene with the lady." Lady in capital letter. I don't know what this is about, but it seemed rather eerie, and I hurriedly closed the folder and put it back where it belonged, and made like I had not seen anything. Not at all. And to you, I have not seen anything.
Yes, I think that is a very wise approach to take to these matters.
Yes. Yes.
One more question. I imagine that some of these things that pain members of your club are not for public knowledge. Do you think that Dr. Hauser, what is his name? Sorry, Hauser.
Klauser.
Klauser. Oh, damn it. Dr. Klauser have taken Dr. Klauser into confidence of matters that they would usually keep private.
Well, I mean, he has said in his one-to-ones that it is of utmost importance that you reveal these things that are deep down and could be rooting themselves and causing you distress and pain and regret, because by uprooting them and revealing them, that is part of the release. And it made sense. Why not? And then he takes out another cigarette and, like, lights it really quickly. And
yes, that is not factually wrong. I think not. However, such intimacies should be reserved to those you really trust.
But he's a doctor.
Indeed, he's a doctor. Well, I think you have given me some information I can follow up on. I've heard that he does public seances. Will you invite me to one of those?
Oh, absolutely. He's supposed to do a talk. Let me check my calendar, and he will flounce off to his desk, and flip through a calendar book. Oh, looks like tomorrow night. Yes, tomorrow night will be the next one.
Very good. And I think Mordecai stands up and says, "Well, let's see if I can entrust some of my deepest and darkest pain to him."
It is a public lecture, mind you. I mean,
yes, I know, but I would like to maybe. I will have a hard time believing him that I'm a gullible fool, but not that I'm saying you are. Damn. But maybe I can get him to speak to me privately.
Just be aware that he does have a shadow. Some say, well, a bodyguard.
Yes.
There's someone that accompanies him that will take appointments, so you may have to go through her before you can actually speak to him privately. I know that she usually has his appointment book.
I see. Well, in that case, I will.
But yes, come to the lecture. Yes. She will most likely be there, of course, standing guard, and you could see if he's free for a private appointment. He has spoken to most of us, one-on-one.
Yes. Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you. Let me see you out. And he will,
Yes.
puffing away, and you're just surrounded by this cigarette smoke.
I do not think Mordecai enjoys that
No,
particularly.
no. But yeah, I mean, you smell it.
I think he will say, what's his name? I'm sorry, I usually
Eugene.
remember.
Sorry,
Eugene,
I should type
yes.
that in there. But
No, it's fine. Well,
Eugene Paulson.
Mr. Paulson, when I said at the door, a word of advice.
Yes.
Points to the cigarette. These things are not good for your health.
Oh. Just nervous habit.
Maybe consider laudanum. And with that, I leave.
Okay. All right. I just kind of contemplates a cigarette as we see the door close and the camera pan away. That's great. Okay, awesome. Oh my God. Curtis Jackson is a young barrow boy who has heard rumors of the Four Magpies, but has never visited before. How do we see him make his first nervous steps inside, and how is he drawn in? And I think he's known about this place for a bit. He had heard rumors teased about from friends of his, where they've been kind of maybe kidding about it because they've seen some gents go in and making it out to be, what kind of club it is. But from what he had heard, even from them, he recognizes it for what it is. And I think he will watch, and he will kind of observe the entrance of the Four Magpies, for a little bit, maybe for a week. But what surprises him is that one of the people that was teasing the hardest about the place, he sees them go in. He follows one of the toughest people that he knows, and sees this person, we'll call him Merton. He sees Merton take a furtive look around, and then go into the entrance, and is greeted by a big buxom woman who seems to greet him as if he's a regular. And he will go in, and he is drawn now by absolute curiosity. He frowns, and then he's just, I mean, if he goes in and he said what he said, that doesn't make much sense. So he will approach the door, take a tentative knock, and present himself cap in hand and say to the buxom woman, "Oh, sorry, miss, is this actually the Four Magpies?" And the woman, who presents a stern brick wall of a countenance, will look down upon him and suddenly beam as if he is a long lost friend, and say, "Well, come on here, mate. It's you're so totally welcome here. Please come on in." And with a big hand, she will take him by the shoulder and then throw open the door and welcome him in. And then he sees not only Merton, being welcomed in, and his jacket already been shed and placed on a peg, but also other people there of different classes and different levels. But he'll see camaraderie and much more, and feel as if he is almost home. And back with Ellie. Okay. So you have fought against the waves of time shift. You can even feel it in your body, as it feels like you're being buffeted somehow. And you make your way to this door of Dr. Fisher's office, which still has his name on it. it kind of like blurs your vision a little bit, as if again you're like kind of seeing this through water, but it dissipates as you put your hand on the door knob and then like open it. And when you go into Dr. Fisher's office, I think you'll see it strewn with papers and like various bookshelves, just you know, stuffed full of journals and numerous textbooks and such. And then the window, the French doors or what have you of the yeah of the place leading out into the balcony are still wide open and letting the night air in.
Mm.
Yeah. So this is where you find yourself. It feels dead here. Not dead in that sense, but I mean like silent, as well as like, even though the night air is being brought in, it feels stagnant.
Well, I've come this far,
Yep.
and I think the thing to do is search the papers and such that are loose on and around the desk.
Yep.
Get a sense of what it was he was working on. If there's anything that is obviously connected with the, is it the Whippet?
Yeah. The HMS Whippet.
With if there's anything that's obviously connected with the HMS Whippet, I will make a point of checking that out.
Sure.
But otherwise, I'm just trying to get a sense.
Okay. Well, info move with reason.
Okay. I really need to stop trying to be reasonable and do things
I
the
mean, you
Rooty
can,
Tootin'
if you
way.
want to parlay something more like yourself, I mean, you could toss the place. I mean, like, you could think, I mean, parlay me what your stat is that you're trying to use, right? That's the basic key to this.
I think
Just shoot the
actually.
papers. I love that
Yeah.
suggestion. Not very useful, but you get
Not very useful, but it's something to keep in mind. I mean, it would
It's
give
a
me
thought.
advantage if I could find some way to say that was gonna give me information. Um, I think I think rather than trying to reason it out, I'm still going to be looking at the same sort of scope of material, but
Mm.
I'm going to try to use sensitivity. I'm going to try to sort of, okay, what here is drawing my attention? What here feels off or significant
Right.
rather than just trying to logic it out. So,
Yeah, I mean, like, your conditions, unfortunately, though, will definitely cause you to be at
yeah.
disadvantage for this.
It,
So,
so I am going to original positioning. I want to kind of sit on that true name of an angel. That is too good. As I'm preparing to do this,
mm,
I'm sort of okay. I'm focusing myself. I'm gonna take my coat off and hang it up. And as I'm taking my coat off, I find in the pocket 3 blackbird feathers.
ooh, okay,
And that is reminding me that even though this is a very weird situation, I'm a hunter of Hargrave House. I've been dealing with weird. Not just my personal weird, but I have been investigating weird. We got that thing at Little Blackbird sorted out. That was not that went really well. We didn't hit a lot of horrifying complications there. So I think that is gonna give me enough focus
sure,
to bring this to a straight roll instead of disadvantage.
perfect. So 2d6 plus sensitivity, please.
Yes.
What the fly? God!
taking a mask. I'm not.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
gonna fail this. It's just gonna go badly,
I
and that is it. Um, yeah.
I know that mechanically it doesn't work like this, but I can't resist. This is just too good. I think because you've opened yourself up to this, as best you can, you're looking specifically for how he's connected to the whippet.
Yes.
Okay, I think what's going to happen is as you're going through his belongings and his possessions, like you find something that looks like a what's the word, like a lockbox, a small lockbox of a sort that looks like it has a
Hmm.
sample in it, and the sample falls out, but before you can actually clutch the sample, all of a sudden you're kicked out of yourself, and you are brought to a point where your hand has changed from your hand into somebody else's hand.
Mm.
Your hand is like now looks like kind of like, gnarled and beefy and like, more manly. And it's like, you're clutching at something, but then like your hand draws away and it's like you hear yourself muttering, it's like, no, 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 it's cursed. It's fucking cursed. And like there are people around you like, kind of like nudging you. It's like, what are you, stupid? No. It's like this could be a great find. We gotta bring it back. Bring it back for the doctor and whoever else could give us a pretty penny for it. What are you, crazy? And you see them, like your vision is blurred because it's raining really hard. It's like storming on the deck of the ship because you find yourself rocking on a ship, and you're still able to keep your footing because you're not you. I mean, you're a well-established seaman, and this person is working with other people. Like maybe you're holding on to the lid of a chest that they're putting this big thing into. You can't quite see it again. It's storming out. It looks like a big rock of some sort. Maybe I don't. You can't tell. And they're putting it into this lockbox, into a bigger chest lockbox, and they're locking it away. They're putting a slap in a lock on it, and then like you switch to a scene where you're bringing it down into a hold of some sort, and you're like trying to just get yourself like oriented, and you're shaking off your jacket and such, and like you see like all the rest of them just like teasing each other about like see, it wasn't a big thing. It's like, just fishing and then like finding something really interesting. What's the problem? And then it's like some of them contemplating what they'd do with the money that they get like from selling this off and all this kind of stuff. And you're bunking with like a whole bunch of these dudes like, in this like very tiny, dorm space, you know. And yeah, I mean, you're you're kind of stuck at the moment. But then you're also like flashing to another point where you see um, someone else like starting to go like a little mad. Like they're starting to mutter to themselves. And it's like, no, 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 no. Like they're starting to recall like some memory that's driving them utterly like crazy. They're starting to like pull out a knife like to defend themselves against perceived like a threat and all this kind of stuff. And that's where you see yourself at the moment, like where you and the others are just trying to talk this person down. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave you for the moment, and then we're going to head over to the next sorry, trying to buzz through this night phase really quickly. um Unseen. Sabine. A well-dressed toff enters the pub, clearly cruising for trade. Which eager lads compete, good-naturedly or otherwise, for his attention, and who just scoffs at him?
Oh, okay. So this tough comes in and glances around. He looks like he looks a bit like a fop, I guess, like with his hair, blonde hair with wild curves, not laid in a fashionable manner, maybe a little too fashionable, honestly, maybe a little too much product there. And also the clothing is a little too garish for good taste, but it's expensive, right? You'd want this. This is a guy who wants who wants people to notice him, but he can't quite pull it off in a way that people will think he's cool, right? It's more like, yeah, okay, I see what you're doing, but really? And I think there are two of the young, let's say, gentlemen who do a bit of side hustle there, who will glance at him, glance at each other, kind of like, you again, you're prettier than I are, you're a bit taller than me. One of them is prettier, the other one is taller. And I think it's Graham who's prettier, but it's Marcus who's taller. And so they will start to preen themselves up a little. Marcus will show a bit of his muscles, right? And Graham will pull out a very nice cigarette box and play around with it a little, looking over and see, maybe this guy's a smoker. And then there's a third guy who sits with them downstairs who's like, oh, you're not serious about this guy. Come on. Do you see that hair? That's awful. But yeah, you do you. But I'm waiting for something more interesting, more stylish. Actually, look at this guy. And then Marcus is like, yeah, you're just jealous you don't have these. And Dunstan's holding his head. And Graham, while these two are talking, Graham has slunk off and approached the toff and said, hello, sir, I haven't seen you around. Fancy a cigarette. And then he gives him, I think he has a cigarette in his own hand, is kind of blowing a puff of smoke at this toff's face, who's A, trying not to cough, and B, looking interested anyway.
Mordecai, you have come from the clubhouse of the Bright and Beautiful. Where would you like to go now? Uh,
I'm wondering what do I want to do now? I mean, night's young. I've already messed with Pettigrew. I can, or maybe, you know what? I mean, I've done work stuff, right? So maybe I'll just go and find him, give him a spooky encounter, maybe do that.
You're gonna give Pettigrew a spooky encounter?
I mean,
What did you plant exactly in his house? I just want to know.
some symbols that will draw ghosts. This is like, yeah, draw hauntings.
Oh
Just
my
like,
gosh.
yeah. Yeah, and I've also moved some of the stuff around just for fun, just for giggles. I think I've done enough there, though. You can't push this too far, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to cook him a little, because when you hunt, you have to be patient. So I think
What
instead of
you've
doing,
done essentially is basically like you've done what the hunters do is like like you've done the beating of the bush basically to
yep,
draw the
yep,
prey out, right?
yeah,
So I mean like
yeah,
maybe when you're wandering about like from the clubhouse, it's like you see Pettigrew with like some of his constables like actually doing stuff. He's looking harried, like he's a detail oriented dude, but he's looking like himself personally a
oh,
little bit more disheveled. Like his mustache isn't quite as well trimmed as it usually is, or like his hair is like askew and his hat's not quite well on his
oh,
head, and his clothing doesn't look like it's been kept for a couple of days, like as if he's gotten
oh.
chased out of his house.
I'll draw back to the shadow. Now, just one more thing, and I'll call on one of my entities and send it just to whisper in his ear. Not something that he can hear, maybe something in Akkadian. Yes, Akkadian sounds amazingly similar to English.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Maybe it
I don't know.
doesn't, but
I don't
probably
know.
not. Probably
Okay.
not. But yeah, just whisper something in his ear. Just,
gonna
It's
call a
hard.
night move on this. Like,
Oh,
like you're
okay.
messing with him because when
Okay,
you do
fair.
this, it's like, you could be calling upon it's like something else to take notice, just for
Oh, and
say.
I mean that's still interesting. Okay, maybe it's not. I think I have to roll sensitivity, and the
Hmm.
arcane bruising will mess me up, right?
Yep. Yepper.
Okay.
So disadvantage unless you want to call upon a personal quarters item to.
I don't have. I have two of them left. Huh. I mean, I could use. Do I want to use? No. I'll roll with disadvantage. How many masks do I have left to use? There's all my masks.
Oh, so
Yeah,
basically like so on a
yeah,
night move, it's like, what do you think
yeah.
will go wrong if you fail or lose your nerve?
What will go wrong? Yeah, I think what you said, that is interesting. I think I might actually, something might notice me
Hmm.
pretending to be pretending to do a haunting, and will, um, maybe I've called on something before in Pettigrew's house, so he is actually haunted. And when I do this whatever thing has taken interest in him will take interest in me.
Yeah, I think that's basically what's going to happen. And the way it's worse is that I think, yeah, why not? I think this is where mean times is going to come into play, is where, like, in you doing this, calling upon a ghost, it's going to be something that calls upon, that brings back your past.
Okay.
That
Oh,
will,
I love
that
that.
will, that will be something from your, oh, why the hell not? You bring a shade of Raphael back.
Oh, I love that. I
If it
mean,
goes
as a player,
way wrong.
Mordecai does not.
If it goes way
Yeah,
wrong. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Let's see. I mean, it can easily go way wrong, right? Let's see how this goes. Come on. Oh no, it does not go way wrong. It goes 7-9.
Okay, so a nine.
It's
All
fine.
right.
It's
Okay, so a nine
fine.
with a night move. Tell me, tell me how this succeeds. Where you spook Pettigrew, and I'll give you a condition or a complication.
I think the entity
Mm-hmm.
rushes through Mordecai's body a little. Maybe, yeah, remember the arcane bruising gets a little worse.
Mm-hmm.
But rushes out, and these are not visible usually. This is a special effect that the audience can see, but
Yeah.
usually NPCs cannot.
Right.
So and then Pettigrew hears something in his ear that's whispering, and the voice is a deep voice, basically Mordecai's voice, but this, for whatever reason, for him it might have been his father. So he's really like, he's looking around. He's like, try, and then barely keeps himself together not to say father or something, or maybe he does. His
That's how you
father.
know. That's how you know
Yeah.
you're like, uh
Yes.
oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And is like, and his guy and his constables look at him like, sir. And he shakes himself and stuff, stiff upper lip. Okay, of course, strokes his mustache and it's like, oh, never mind, never mind. Just something that reminded me. What have you looked at this? What are you doing?
But I think as this happens, I think, while you're taking like a momentary pleasure in this, like as you see the distress on his face, I think him saying father comes to brings into your mind like a child, maybe you, saying something very similar, you know, when you were a youth. Um, Either saying father or saying Raphael in that same tone, in that same way, and it brings forth like the hint, not the exact memory, but I mean a hint of the memory. And I think this is where you get deja vu, where you
Oh,
feel
I
like
like that.
you've done this or you've gone through this before. You
Yeah,
know,
okay, okay.
yeah. So
Yes, that
deja vu.
makes deja vu. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
And
it's Raphael. He would not have called Raphael father.
yeah, I mean, like, yeah. So. But I mean, like, it's the same tone. It's the same
Yeah.
kind of like pleading kind of like voice, and it just
Mhm.
strikes a chord within you. That's why you have the deja vu condition. Okay.
Maybe I should go and talk to Dr. Clausen.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh god! Ah! Oh, all right. Last but not least, Kathleen, as last orders are called and people start to file out of the pub, how do we see Polly looking after her customers with words or action where needed?
At a typical pub at closing time, there'd be kind of a rush for the door. Uh, that doesn't happen here because Polly doesn't want attention drawn to the place by large numbers of men, some of whom are possibly conspicuous as to who and what they are, uh, to all be associated with one location, too obviously. And so she guides them out, some to a different exit, spacing out the timing. And we also see her take note of who is very intoxicated and asking another patron to see to it that they get home safely and just generally trying to make sure that nobody is going to be getting into trouble leaving her place. Also, she checks in on a couple of the uh, young men who she knows don't necessarily have a regular place to sleep, and making sure that they're going to be okay and letting them stay over if need be.
Back on the HMS Whippet, because that is exactly where you are. This unnamed as yet sailor. Um, yeah, you're experiencing this thing of this sailor just gone completely nuts and like starting to brandish a knife against the others. I mean, like, and he seems to be seeing things that aren't there, or like people that aren't there, and defending himself against such. The others are trying to talk him down. Maybe you're trying to also talk him down in your gruff voice. But yeah, I mean, like, you guys are in danger. This is a small space. And
Yeah,
yeah. So, night move. And this could be the night move that either keeps you further in here or kicks you out of it. And then, like, perhaps back into your own body. So, yeah.
right. Okay.
So, what do you think will go wrong if you fail or lose your nerve? What are you planning on doing for first off,
Um,
as this person or as yourself? You obviously don't have your regular accoutrements, on you.
right. I don't have my
Your gun,
my
your no,
pistol.
no.
um, I think I am going to try to signal to a couple of the others we have to subdue him.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, and just nodding like, "You with me?"
Mm,
And then going to try to tackle him, pushing the knife hand out of the way if at all possible. But uh, yeah,
sure.
I, I think that's, and I think if I fail, uh, I mean, I'm gonna be stuck in this loop. Um, and maybe this whole confrontation will start over.
Yeah. Or the way it's worse is that as if you're the one that's going to try and tackle, I think you get kicked into a new, or excuse me, an old memory, and perhaps this is where you will fall into the uh it's either a particularly bad one or a particularly good one,
Mm.
where, it could be like, where you're really enjoying yourself with Cora and
And
Nate
hard to break out because I
and
don't
hard to
want to.
exactly. Or it could be a really horrible one where it's like, you are like in the throes of the first bits of your curse, and then like you've done something, or you're in the midst of doing something with your first victims, whatever.
Right.
So yeah, could be either one of those things. I'll let you decide which one is like the more
Mm.
for you. So let's see what you roll. Let's see. So night move with vitality for sure.
Okay.
And hold on. Well, I mean, in this, you know what? I'm hold on, brain. Get it back into there. Where is it? I'm actually not going to hold the conditions against you because it's affecting your Ellie body rather than your unnamed sailor body.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Drum roll, please. Let's see if the dice are cruel yet again.
My vitality. Okay. 9.
Okay. 9. They
9.
could have been worse.
Could have been worse. Okay, so tell me how you succeed, and then I will give you a complication or a condition.
Right. I lead the charge, I tackle, and as I do, I feel a pain in the palm of my hand. And at first, I think it is because the knife has caught my hand.
Hmm.
But then I realize it's because I have lunged forward and pressed against the edge of the desk where my fingernails have been cutting into my hand
Yeah.
as I was keeping myself focused. And so that renewed pain reminds me of who and where I am.
Nice. All right. Yeah, you kick back to yourself for sure. Absolutely. Um, and then let's see. So out of night move, you're back in the throes of this. Yeah, I think you're back at Dr. Fisher's office, and you're now on the floor because of the pain, like, has kind of thrown you back, and you're on the floor
Mm-hmm.
amidst all the papers and such and so forth. Um, but I think because maybe your vision is still a little bit blurry from being kicked out of that one you know time time travel skip. I think in the doorway or the window, by the balcony, you see a very familiar silhouette. What color hair did Cora have?
Black,
Yeah, I think you see
black
her.
and curly.
Yeah, I think you see her black and curly hair, like kind of streaming in the wind that you don't feel in this place, as if she's back wherever that particular place is, posture is, where she's looking out, wherever this is, in a very familiar, like, calm posture. And then you hear her say, "It's a nice night, isn't it?"
Yeah.
And gonna leave you there. I leave you to figure out what this does to you in the moment, and then that will be your condition.
I'm gonna call it heartsick.
Okay, go ahead. Plug that in. Yes, you guys do get a clue from that. You'd have to decide what threat you want to apply that to, and either do a TBD or come up with it, like before we end the session. And then, like, over at Mordecai, yeah, you've done that to Pettigrew, and he's just like, he's concerning his constables that are accompanying him, because he's saying what he said, and they're like, "Sir?" And then, like, he's barking at them, like, having them investigate something or somewhere, and he's looking stricken, but you are in the throes of your own, like, remembrance. Like, it's just an oral remembrance, like you're just hearing this, like, kind of like in the echo of the distant past, Mordecai. um and you hear yourself say, in the same tone, same kind of plaintiveness, I guess,
Mm,
like maybe
yeah,
Raphael's name and such. So
yeah.
I want to know, from that, I want to know, like, do you find yourself feeling it or seeing it? Like that particular memory that kind of brings you back.
I think it's more feeling it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's more that sense of dread and loneliness
Hmm.
and fear that caused me to call out like that.
Got it. All right. So I just want you to adjust deja vu first, a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more, and
Mm-hmm.
just like
Yeah.
deja vu from, and like just put deja vu from what the strongest feeling is. Is it loneliness or dread? Just put that there.
No, I think it's dread.
Okay. Yeah. So deja vu from dread. Go ahead. Um, so we can kind of like really hone in on that. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. So, um, and then that is coming up on the end of night phase. All right. So we see the fingers of dawn, of course, strike. And I think we're heading into dawn. Let me see. Give me a second. Come on. All right. No threat was resolved. You
But
did
we did
answer a
answer
question.
questions.
Yep, you did answer a question. So, Ellie, all right. Answered a question. Did not resolve a threat. Did you experience an echo in the night?
Yeah, I made a point of hanging up my coat before I got down to work in the office,
Mm-hmm.
just as the patrons in the pub uh take off their jackets before settling into their evening.
Nice. Okay. Did you use violence to solve a problem?
No, I didn't, and I really wish I had. Well, actually, no, wait a second. No, in the memory, I
You did.
did.
You did.
I
Yeah.
did. Never mind.
You
I
did.
used
I
violence.
was going to mention that. I
Yay,
was going to think
violence.
if you hadn't. So, yeah. So, yeah, you did use violence. Did you share a treasured memory from the States during an intimate moment with another character?
No, I
No.
avoided talking about
Not even with
the
Lansing?
states. Oh, wait a second.
Did you mention
Um,
something? I'm trying to remember now, too. I don't remember.
I don't think I did. I don't think I did because that I was dancing around so many different things I don't want to talk
And
about.
also to recall that, like, again, this is for the full cycle. So
Yeah.
from your vulnerable scene with Felix, I think we were talking about
Okay.
you. Did you
I
mention
did
anything?
talk about past some, I think. No, wait a second. I'm gonna say no because I can't remember. I should have reviewed that recording more recently. I watched it last week, but I didn't rewatch it
Okay, well, take the points that you
recently.
do have,
Yep.
add them to your advancement track, and then clear your dawn questions, and then change your elective dawn questions if you so choose. All right, we're just going to quickly run through Felix's dawn questions. So yes, answered a question, did not resolve a threat, obviously didn't experience an echo in the night, did appear in London society wearing risque or avant-garde fashion, did he secretly show a vulnerable side to someone? Trying to remember from last time if he
I
did it.
think our I think our vulnerable scene might have qualified.
Yeah, I think so too. So I'm gonna give him those points. Um, so let's see. So that's three. 1, 2, 3. And so he gets an advancement. Let's see. So I'm gonna put out 1 here. Bloop. All right. Okay. Remind me to tell him that he's got an advancement. Okay. Mordecai. Did
Yeah,
you answered a question
we did.
and you did not
Very nice.
resolve a threat? Did you experience an echo in the night? I heard it.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
And I performed a ritual. That was last time.
Yep. And did you make love to a human in order to forget the
No,
darkness?
no, I don't think that will ever happen.
Okay. I mean,
I mean, yeah, I was thinking about having an intimate thingy with Nora, but it would be weird, right? She's my student, and it feels weird
And
for
Maglasang
Mordecai
will
to
be
do.
very pissed off at you. He
It
finds
would
out.
be it would not be a make love thing. It would be an intimate thing.
Okay,
Mordecai's not into
that's
the
fine.
whole making love stuff.
Got it, got it, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Tried it once, the other guy died, so he's kind of like, oh, okay, not for me.
Okay, alrighty. So take those points, add them to your
Yeah.
advancement track, clear your
Mm-hmm.
dawn questions, and change your elective dawn questions if
Okay.
you so choose. No problem. Okay. And then let me just double check Mr. Wrights. Doopy 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 doo. Okay, so answer to question. Did not resolve a threat. Did not experience attack on night. No problem for your other half to tackle. Not
He
really.
wasn't in last session, so
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
mean, he
he's really been in this
was.
cycle.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. It kind of was because I mean, like I was counting. I
Oh,
was like
that's
doing the
true, because
backup. Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
day, yeah, okay.
Yeah. The other problem for your other
Last
half tackle.
session,
Not
but
really.
not
Yeah.
really, but the cycle,
Okay.
yes.
So I'm
Okay.
just gonna like add the one blip to his advancement track. Okay. So we took care of that. Okay. So no rewards. Dawn questions. Great. New elective dawn questions. We can make sure that they do that. Okay. Any clearance of moves or special moves. Okay. All right. Bloop.
I would like to suggest we put our vulnerable scene clue toward mean times,
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
if that works for you.
we talked about your time thingy. Yes,
Okay.
that's fair.
Go
Let's
ahead.
do that.
Put a TBD if you guys don't want to figure out what you found or realized. It could be either or. So
Mhm.
put a
I
TBD
think
on it.
TBD is fine, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Perfectly. If you want to make a mention of what circumstances you were trying to figure out the thing, then
yeah,
you can totally
that
do that
might
as
help.
well.
Yes.
Or if you don't want to and just want to contextualize in the moment, I don't care either way.
Okay.
Yes.
And I can either do my mask now or next session, if you prefer.
Let's go ahead and if you have it now, go ahead and do it now.
Narrate a flashback to your young adulthood that shows the incident that made you start to resent, even despise your parents. Okay. So, we see Ellie, uh, in probably late teens now, maybe very early 20s. Um, and unlike the proper dress we have seen her uh in other flashbacks, she's actually dressed in boys' riding breeches and and a rather more feminine blouse, but or shirtwaist, I suppose I should say. Um, and jacket, strolling happily into stables. Clearly very well kept, well tended stables, a number of horses here. But she walks up to a stall that has a plaque on it that says Xanthus. The stall is empty. And she pauses for a moment, spins, looks at the rack of tack on the opposite wall, and sees that a saddle is also missing. Demands one of the stable boys come over and explain to her where my horse is. Where is Xanthus? What have you done with him? And boy, clearly very intimidated, stares at the ground. Sorry, Miss Evangeline. Your parents sold Xanthus. You'll need to take it up with them. She storms into the house and her parents are actually waiting for her in the parlor. And her bravado kind of crumples a bit, in the sense that she doesn't openly defy her parents the same way she orders around staff. But her parents explain that Xanthus was never meant to be her horse in any case. He was her brother's, and not an appropriate mount for a young lady. And they knew she'd been riding astride, and that was going to stop right now. She was welcome to go out riding on Bella, provided she rides with in a proper side saddle, properly attired, and none of this galloping about the countryside nonsense. And Ellie is absolutely torn between rage and shame and loss and an absolute inability to directly stand up to her parents over any of it. And she, in the end, just bursts into tears and runs to her room.
Oh boy. Ah, the tea. Wow. Okay. So that is dawn phase. When we start up next session, it's going to be a whole new day phase. Hopefully, we will have Mr. Wright join us, and then we can get that mask finally. Um, and then we will commence with day phase stuff and the introduction of one of my faves. But before we completely end this session with stars and wishes, I just want to have a tiny, 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 tiny interlude. We see two people actually approach the desk at the Langham, get checked in, get 2 rooms and get checked in, and you know, the shorter, squat-looking one, dressed in his 3-piece suit, kind of, looks at his companion as they head upstairs to their rooms and says, "You sure you're ready for this, son? I was perfectly happy to just come up by myself. You know, the that there is a bounty, and I'm aiming to collect. You've got no stakes in this. There's no reason for you to be here. What's your angle?" And the taller, more muscular of the two, with a thatch of red hair, stares down at his companion with a look that would melt steel, and says, "You only think I don't have any stakes, sir, but I do. If vengeance is stakes, then I got's a lot to be collecting for." And that's where we close out of that little scene before we go into the next session. So, yep. And stars and wishes. Stars are things we liked about gameplay, roleplay each other, and wishes are what we'd like to see for next time or the future. Whomever would like to start.
Stars for I really liked our vulnerable scene. That was it wasn't, big fireworks of revelations or anything, but it really felt like two people who have gotten fairly comfortable with each other in a way that I don't think either of them gets comfortable with a lot of people. And I like that. It's a good collegial relationship at this point, I think. Hoo boy, Mean Times is well named. Though the times are not as mean as the dice roller. Uh, how? How is it? Keep rolling fives? I don't know. Even when I'm not rolling with disadvantage, I'm rolling fives. Nonetheless, I had fun with it, despite the fact that my character is having a terrible time. Ooh, the stinger. I am really looking forward to seeing how this plays out and how Ellie's life gets to be even more hellish. Because this is gonna be painful. It's gonna be very painful.
Which is why I was asking whether, and I ask you again, is Ellie going to tell Lansing?
I think she will. Uh she's not gonna fill him in on all the backstory, but she is going to let him know a bit about her family and the fact that she is being summoned home and doesn't intend to go. Uh, so we can probably play that out next session. Looking forward to it is my wish is I know I'm gonna get to see how Pinkerton plays out and the person that Pinkerton has brought with him. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
You may regret bringing that fella on.
Oh, I knew what I was letting myself in for when I handed you that backstory.
Yay! mm, love that stuff. Love that stuff. Sabine, did you want to go?
Yeah, I can. So stars, yeah, stars all around. This was really, really nice because I haven't been playing for I think 3 weeks, and this was nice coming back to. So yeah, I love Ellie struggling with the mean times. I mean, I was even struggling with the dice. Honestly, they were very mean. I also loved our scene that felt really, really fun, comfortable with each other in a way that Mordecai is, I don't think, with anyone else, really. And yeah, I love that very nervous, smoky guy. And I mean, if Mordecai had been a little bit different, he would have put his hand on his shoulder or something just for the echo of the night. But he's not that kind of guy. He's really not. So yeah, yeah. And I love the consequence for the let's mess with Pettigrew. That was really fun. Even though it didn't go to worst, which is also kind of nice, but also kind of, well, it could have been fun. But we got a new past problem now, so let's go with that. I'm really curious about meeting these guys and cursing them, maybe. It could be fun.
Could be
I
fun.
don't get to curse nearly enough people.
Oh my god. Damn. I just want to say that I love how far you've both come because I mean it used to be like at loggerheads.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
then
At
now
first we did not get along.
no, and then now it's like, oh, okay, like yeah, okay, you know, like just like being more companionable about it. I mean, especially because you helped him with his thing. So I mean, I think
Mhm.
that's great. Like you know, for like being more, yeah, okay, I get you now.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely. Um, oh wow. Yeah, daddy issues. Oh boy. Ah, God. Yeah, this had to do a lot with family this episode. Holy crap. So, if there was a theme, it's like I got to try to remember to put that in for this particular session. But I enjoyed the byplay with you two, but even separate, I mean like just the shenanigans that you guys got yourselves into was just delightful. And I enjoyed like pulling all the mean times crap on you because you guys had been ignoring mean times for a bit, and you know if that happens, then the threats come a roaring for you.
Mhm.
So yeah, you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the consequence of non-action. So that was delightful. And yeah, I mean, for the wish is to see what you guys end up doing, because now you will not only have 3 threats on the board, but come day phase, then there will be 4. Because Pinkerton,
Mm-hmm.
as a playbook threat, doesn't matter if you already have 3 active threats. It can totally be brought in at any time, which I love the chaos. So,
Yep.
and I particularly, for whatever reason, love Taggart because he's such an asshole. And with the added complication of Ellie's little, yeah, like Ellie's
Yeah.
friend coming back.
Yeah, and she'll
She doesn't know how much trouble she's in.
yeah, she has no idea, and she's gonna feel rather more conflicted about, I mean, Taggart, yeah, curse Taggart. Pff, yeah, whatever we do to Taggart, cool. But can she really want to hurt? Oh, that's gonna be.
Yeah.
Does she want to hurt Nate? That's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, that could be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we'll see. We'll see how this goes. So I can't wait to see what happens. This is gonna be great. I'm so excited. Please, God, let everybody be here next week. Oh God. Anyway, sorry. The excitement is just rolling. Yeah. Want to see what you guys do with this, because yeah, we're seeing, hopefully be able to see, try to gain more on these threats. The biggest problem is, it's like, this is the other problem with only having a couple of players, because it gets more dangerous and it's harder to investigate.
We don't stack up clues fast.
You don't.
Yeah,
you really don't.
The
and
clues are.
It's one of the reasons why I also don't want to run, like, with 2 players if I can help it, because it's like you just can't get as much stuff done because there is drama. There is like problems when you're just by yourselves, when it's just the 2 of you, and then you have to split up. You can't necessarily pair off exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
And
always
the cycle continues relentlessly.
exactly.
So we can't just drag it out forever.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. I can't hold it as much as I want to. I mean, like, there is a level of time fuckery with like mean times, which is why I felt like I could do the backup and then, see where people were while other people were doing things, in the phase. But I mean, yeah, there's a limit to that, I think. So yeah, you did get 2 clues, which is great. So that's lovely. I mean, like, and it helps. But again,
No, we got
like,
3. We used 1 to answer the question.
yes,
we got 3.
Exactly. So I mean, again,
Yeah.
you've gained more, but it's still slow going. It's still going to be slow going. So anyway, I am excited to see what happens. I'm hoping for the full crew back next week, and yeah, I wanna see like what you do with these threats, because yeah, they're still plugging along. Oh boy. Oh man, so excited. So yeah, just as a reminder, Spider Silk Seamstress, you have a choice of either the 4, the 6, or the 8 complexity to answer. Meantimes, yeah, you can figure out again the 4 or the 6 complexity, and you still have the bonus question of which James Allardyce belongs to this time period for complexity 2 to get a custom move, and then now you have the resolution possibility for Order of Azure Eyes. Since it's not real, what is Dr. Klauser up to? All right, so got a lot of fun stuff. And then the Pinkerton. Yay! Okay, so I'm excited.
I have to give another star for getting the Pinkerton. I love these playbook-centric threats. That's it's just fun.
They're so cool. They're just amazing. Yeah. I love this stuff. So yeah, very much looking forward to all of this.
All the lore, all the backstory.
Yeah, because there's a lot. It's like so much, and it changes per person. So I can tell you, Kathleen, it's like, Mike pulled the Pinkerton already for his American, and I'm like having so much fun. Doesn't have the added complication of your particular backstory. So I mean, like, it's just Taggart, but still, it's like I love bringing out Taggart because he's such an asshole. Oh man, it's gonna be fun. All right, so you guys have a wonderful week. Happy gaming to you both, and we'll see everybody hopefully next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for running.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.